More in just minutes, but first, new outrage on the National Mall and only on the record getting you up close. Former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin teaming up with Republican Senators Ted Cruz and Mike Lee and hundreds of angry veterans. Just before speaking to the crowd, Governor Palin and Senators Cruz and Lee going on the record. Governor, welcome to Washington. Of course, Senator, you are here all the time, but why are you here down on the memorial this morning?
I'm here to hopefully help show the veterans that America's heart for our veterans is immeasurable, and we think it's atrocious that our military is being used as political pawns in a political game, and we're going to change that. And we appreciate these guys who are the good guys in the Senate picking up the fight for us. But there are a few things that we can do to show our support, and that's why I'm here.
Senator Lee?
This belongs to the people, and we're here to show our solidarity with them, and that this is not a tool to be used against them in a political fight. This is theirs.
Senator Cruz.
Our veterans should be above politics. It is shameful that the administration is barricading and trying to shut down the memorials. Weeks ago, the House of Representatives passed funding to open every memorial in this country. And President Obama and the Democrats are blocking it. They're trying to play games, and the American people know they're trying to play games. They need to come together and fix this problem and stop holding our veterans hostage.
Well, there are two types of memorials. There are the veterans memorials and then the other memorials here. It's the veterans one, though, that has gotten people mostly riled up, obviously, because of it. But how did it happen that on October 1st, no one realized in the Senate or the House that, for instance, the death benefits weren't going to be paid? No one realized that?
Well, just like we didn't realize that they were going to put doors around the World War II memorial. I mean, you had to actually build doors in the first place in order to lock them, and that's what they did. They're trying to make things as difficult as they possibly can be for the American people, and that's not right.
And it's all a matter of priorities. It's a matter of really a lack of respect coming from the top when we realize that these political games are resulting in it being taken out on our veterans. So the shutdown priorities reflect that lack of respect. Really, they reflect a lack of valor coming from our commander-in-chief.
Do you think the commander-in-chief of the president was actually the one who said...
But commander-in-chief, the president today, he could be here today standing up and saying, yes, we will tear down these barricades. We will allow our veterans to come in to their memorials because they have paid the ultimate price. They are the ones who have allowed us this freedom.
Did you talk to the World War II veterans at all? Because they were here, we boarded the bus, and it was actually sort of interesting, these elderly gentlemen, they laughed at the concept of putting up a waist-high barrier to try to keep them out of the memorial.
Look, I mean, I was on that bus with you, and as you know, those men were saying, listen, we took on the cliffs of Normandy. A barrier is not going to keep us out of this memorial. But you know, you asked about the president's decisions. You know, his political operatives made the decisions initially, but President Obama personally has issued a veto threat saying he will veto funding to reopen this memorial.
But he signed it.
He signed it, and he said he will veto funding to fund the VA, the Department of Veterans Affairs. Our vets should be above politics. You know, we've got a national website, fundourvets.com. You can see the president's written veto threat. That's wrong. And the commander-in-chief should be standing with our vets, not trying to use them as political pawns. That's not the proper approach.
Senator Lee, the bill went from the House to the Senate to fund the vets for the death benefits and also to travel to receive the remains at Dover. Quickly signed by the president. You give him credit for that?
Yes, absolutely. And it's an example of how we can work together to fund those areas of government as to which there is broad-based bipartisan consensus, especially in areas where there's no connection whatsoever to Obamacare. There's no reason why we can't backfill government, why we can't fund it on a step-by-step basis. They're telling us, in effect, unless you're willing to fund everything, we won't let you fund anything, and that doesn't make sense.
Well, I guess the one issue, though, you can't avoid is the fact that it took the American people being outraged generally for this to get, you know, front burner.
And our vets have allowed us to be here today, standing up for our First Amendment rights so that we can express that outrage and that we can then positively impact the change that needs to take place so something like this never happens again.
Straight ahead, veteran story. Former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin making an appearance in Washington. Now she's surprised protesting veterans at the World War II Memorial.
We are here to honor our vets. You look around, though, and you see these barricades, and you have to ask yourself, is this any way that a commander-in-chief would show his respect, his gratitude to our military?
And we caught up with Governor Palin again after her speech. Governor, people always talk about whether or not you're going to run for the Senate. Have you made any decisions yet whether you're going to run for the Senate?
You know, when I consider potentially ever moving to Washington, I have to consider, do they have much moose hunting around here? Are there many, like, fly fishing streams through the city? The things that I'm used to with my lifestyle up in Alaska, there would be quite the trade-off, so that would have to be a consideration.
All right, so how's it weighing right now? I know you love moose hunting, I know you like fishing, but how's it weighing right now? Looking around this beautiful weather we have here in Washington, it's drizzle.
I just want to be here and anywhere else across our great nation that would allow some assistance provided to the good guys, to those who know how to defend our republic, fight for freedom, not let things like this happen where a commander-in-chief would disrespect our military, our vets, by shutting down the memorials that remind us of the cost that they have already paid the price for our freedom. So I just want to help the good guys.
Any idea how to end this shutdown?
Oh my goodness, the games that are played. Well, you know, the good guys, those who have already voted and decided to fund essential services in government, they cannot capitulate at this time. They cannot wave a white flag and say, okay, Mr. President and Democrats, you can have your blank check. We're already $17 trillion in debt. We cannot tell them, go ahead, you can have your blank check and keep incurring more and more debt and bankrupt this great country of ours. So number one is the Republicans have to stand strong and not give in.
So where does this end, though? Because there's been, you know, we've got this shutdown now for 12, 13 days.
Where does it end? It ends with the people at places like this having their voice heard, telling our leaders that they better get their priorities straight. Priorities like, no, you don't shut down our World War II memorial and keep the president's golf course open at the same time. You don't make these stupid decisions that stick it to the people, because the people are being used as pawns. Our government is to be working for us. You guys hire the politicians. They work for you. So it ends when the people's voice is loud enough to be heard all throughout Washington, D.C., so that they'll listen to us.
Some of the other Republicans in the Senate, the more moderate ones, I suppose, the way they be described, are disagreeing very much with the Senator Ted Cruz, Senator Mike Lee side of this dispute. So how do you reconcile that?
I think the people would say, thank you, good guys, for being there fighting the good fight for the rest of us.
You rode over here. I saw you arrive with Senator Mike Lee and Senator Ted Cruz. Are either one of them feeling bruised in this fight?
I don't think so. They are tough. They are tenacious. And you know why I think that is within them, that fight for freedom? It's because of people like the vets who are here today. We learn from them. We know that they weren't timid. We know that they never backed down from a fight. So Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, others, we learn from them. We wish to emulate and honor them in our bravery, our actions to fight the good fight for freedom.
And in some instances, disagreement isn't always all bad, is it?
It isn't always bad if the good guys at the end of the day win. And the good guys are those who want their country back. The good guys are those who will fight whatever it takes to defend our republic. So as long as the good guys win, then no, these minor disagreements really don't amount to a hill of beans.
Do you see your truckers supporting the truckers going by? Do you hear them?
I saw your story on the truckers,
But
too.
did you hear them ride by the memorial? Did you hear the horns?
Yeah, it sounded like my driveway in Wasilla with Todd and Track and the girls driving their trucks up and down. No, they're awesome. They're great. As are the bikers who showed up, the vets, the guys that we had met at Rolling Thunder who are here today. We love them.
Governor, nice to see you. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
And coming up a little